Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Collards
and Curry
podcast. I'm your host. Despite what these cups say, I'm your real host, Pierre Quinn.
Okay, I'll let him have it this time. And I'm your host, Colleen Alexander.
And here on the Collards and Curry podcast, we talk all things fun, focus, and faith. So let's just jump into our topics for today. Yeah, let's talk about fun.
Oh, I guess we could talk about New Year's. Since you just got over New Year's.
Listen, I'm going to be completely honest, all right, on this. Like, we're always honest on the podcast, but I was going through the stations on New Year's Eve, and
oh my God,
have they always been that bad? Because I felt like this year was terrible.
No, it's gotten really bad.
So I grew up watching Dick Clark.
Yeah.
All right, so
I remember that.
Dick Clark rocking New Year's Eve.
Good music he'd play, yeah.
Good music. It was good performances. I felt like every channel, everybody was trash.
Yeah, it was horrible. People drinking on there, like acting crazy. It's like...
It was crazy. It was. Yeah. You wouldn't expect to see that on network television, but...
I know.
I don't know. It was wild. It was wild. So... thinking back, what was like the best? Like, do you have fun? I mean, we picked this as a category to talk about fun, so we got to have some fun.
Some fun
New
memories.
Year's Eve. I got one.
What is it?
I got one.
What is it?
I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but didn't we do like a New Year's Eve party at your church one year where your pastor preached a 3-hour sermon?
Oh my goodness! I remember. I can't. The theme of it was Winter Wonderland or something like that, right?
Yeah, which didn't make any sense because...
It was crazy, too, because right before we got there, I think they had finished painting the wall or something. And people, I guess, had brushed up against the wall and they got paint on their
This was
clothes.
Wild, y'all. So we went to a New Year's Eve, well, they call it Old Year service.
Yeah.
At Colleen's church.
Don't say the name.
I ain't gonna say the name of the church, but you said in the first teaser episode, they would be listening, so they know we talking about them. And
I love my church still.
It was the longest service, longest worship program. The pastor preached like 2 hours.
It was longer than 2 hours, I think.
It was bad.
But it was kind of his, I think.
I don't care. It was
his
terrible.
going away service sermon.
I'm not saying nothing, but
it was his going away sermon. Okay,
that sermon needed to go away. Let me tell you. So after, I'm just calling it like I said. And then after that, we went downstairs.
Yeah, and they had this special dinner prepared. That was so
weird.
Why?
Okay, so first of all, like you said, the theme for the dinner portion that didn't connect with the upper portion when we were in like the worship service and praying and singing and listening to a 2 or 3 hour sermon. The bottom part was like Winter Wonderland, like. And they had painted that day.
Yes, the walls were white, and didn't they have like umbrellas and stuff?
Who said, you know what, this is a great idea. Let's paint hours before we have a dinner down here.
And it's cold outside.
And let's paint the wall. Who?
I don't know, but we had fun though. It was nice.
Explain to me though why they sang. Okay, this is a church program, right?
Yes.
Winter Wonderland. They played a movie. The food was really, really good.
Of course, the food was good.
But they had like a singing little talent program. How come your people sang "Strangers in the Night"?
Someone actually dedicated that song to the pastor and his wife.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
How does Strangers in the Night fit into anything?
I don't know.
That was reckless.
Honestly, anything can show up at church events, so you never know.
So that was fun. It was fun.
I mean, it's a memory you have, right?
Yeah. What do we do for, like, did we get home before midnight?
Yeah. We didn't stay there.
And then what happened?
I think we stayed awake, though.
I can't remember. That part is fuzzy, but I do remember that long sermon. Those freshly painted white walls and people in your church singing "Strangers in the Night" to your pastor. That was hilarious.
It was.
But you told me a story that was not so hilarious, and that's
my one and only experience going to Times Square.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my Lord, you weren't there. I don't know why you didn't come with us. I think it was myself, Michael, Glenn, and Carlene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my Lord, we had planned to go to Times Square, and it's gonna be packed.
But it looks so
appealing on the
cool on TV.
Yeah. So we planned to go mad early. We got there, I think, around like 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
We got food. We were walking around, and then they started to put up the barriers so people can't just come in. 3 o'clock. So we ate, we hung out, we were exhausted. So finally, hours later, you're waiting for midnight, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's freezing, what I'm telling you. It was so cold that night. Yeah. Oh, my. You should have seen the four of us. I think we had like a black trash bag. We were on the ground, like kind of snuggled up together. We were so cold. And of course, so many hours, you want to use the bathroom.
This is crazy.
And all the restaurants close their doors and they charge you money to come in.
To use the bathroom.
So yeah, I think I paid it was $5. I had to pay someone at one of the restaurants to get in.
Y'all New York people know how to hustle, man. Y'all know how to squeeze $1 out of a person.
My one and only experience. I will never do that again. Oh my goodness. It was just...
So you trying to tell me, and not like this year with the COVID year and there weren't many people on TV, just a handful of people.
It was packed. There wasn't room at all to move.
So you trying to tell me that those people who are out there, most of them have been out there all day?
Like us.
Nah,
we were just
hanging
around. You went to the stores when they were open, but it's like after a while, everything shuts down.
So would you ever do it again?
No. I was so cold. No. And then when everything was over and all the confetti falls.
Yeah.
We had to walk blocks away to take the subway home because the stations were shut down. That was close to Times Square. So you see the whole group of people just walking in different directions trying to get to the station. It was terrible.
But on TV, it looks so fun.
It does, but you gotta be dressed right. I would never take like little kids to do that. Unless, say, you rent a room somewhere close by. They have hotels you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably be cool to do.
What's the hotel gonna be like? $300-$400?
It's gonna be expensive.
No, forget that. The best, man. Listen, I remember as a kid being so excited about watching a ball drop and then falling asleep at 11:15.
Didn't that happen to Ella, I think?
Yeah.
She was so excited. I'm going to stay up. And then she fell asleep.
Yeah, so, and it's not that, it's another year. You wake up and it's another year. So I'm grateful that we as a family were able to see another year. Yes, the programming was absolutely terrible. It was deplorable. But, what matters is we rung in the new year, the four of us as a family. So started the year well.
Definitely happy about that. Yeah.
So speaking of the new year, there's a lot going on now in terms of traditionally when we start the new year, right? Resolutions, gym memberships, all of these promises. This is the year. I'm cutting people off this year. I'm canceling people this year. This is the year
this is the new me.
Yeah, I'm going to climb Mount Everest. I'm going to run in an Ironman triathlon. I'm going to go to the Olympics. Like, people just get real crazy and reckless talking about things they aspire to accomplish.
I think we make so many plans.
Why do you think we do that, though?
I guess because we're hoping to be better than what we were the year before. Yeah. But it's also... I guess culture. We're taught that it's a new year. Yeah. You gotta start something new. You gotta have new goals. So yeah.
Yeah, we'd love for those of you who are watching this on YouTube. We know some of you listen on Buzzsprout. You listen on Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, wherever you listen. we're so grateful that you listen, that you hang out, that you rate it, that you review it, that you're sharing it on social media. If you're watching this on YouTube, I wanna ask you to in the comment section, let us know if you got a resolution or a goal or something that you're looking to accomplish in 2021. Share that with us, and some of the cool ones, maybe we'll share it on the next episode. So it's a lot of social pressure.
It is. And I mean, what would you say? Most times, do we accomplish those goals, or typically?
There's a reason why the gym memberships got the hustle. They know you're super excited in December, and they know by February it's going to be empty, and they got the money. I think for a lot of us, the mistake that we make, and it's not just resolutions, I just think in general, when we talk about self-development and growth and all of that stuff, we do it in isolation. We think that we're going to be able to hold ourselves accountable and do it on our own, and it
that
don't work.
Is true. I think that, and also we try to go too big.
We try to go mega hard.
We're gonna do all these 10 things. Like, no, start small. That's what I would suggest. Start small, so that way, most times when you do accomplish your goal, it's motivation to keep going.
Yeah, a lot of us try to do. I'm gonna lose 50 pounds in a month.
Don't be so hard on yourself. Like, pace yourself.
I think we've not lost. Well, yeah, maybe it's just the society we live in, the instant everything. We've lost or don't lean into like the journey part, the growth, the time factor. I can't remember like who said it, but it's like a popular like motivational phrase. People often overestimate what they can do in a year. They overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 5 years. So, we think we can accomplish so much in 1 year, and we don't give a lot of thought to, if I really plan this out and take my time and do it right and get the support, the next 5 years can be something so amazing.
Yeah.
And it defeats a lot of people.
Yeah. I think it's just, like we said, building on small steps. So yeah. So
what about the small step of like it's a mindset thing, right? The small step from maybe the mental health space, because we're, in the focus section of our podcast, we talk about mental health. What about the small step of actually like...
I know one method I've learned about, right? It's a technique. They teach us. It's about acting as if. It's called the technique, acting as if. And basically you're acting as if you're the person, you're already acting as the person you desire to be.
That's not schizophrenic?
No.
Oh, I'm just,
No, it's like a cognitive thing. So if I have these... If I want to be this type of person, say I want to be confident.
Okay.
You act that way. Even though you may not, kind of like what you say in speaking. What's your saying that you say? You kind of, I don't want to mess it up.
Oh, try it. Go ahead.
No,
go for it.
I don't want to mess it up. It's not about bluffing, but you said you do it while you're scared or something like that.
Yeah. It says, so... Secret Life of Pets 2. If you haven't seen the movie, it's a very interesting movie. There's a scene where the main character, the main dog, goes to a farm and he's hanging out with the farm dog, and they go on this mission, and he's talking about how I'm scared. And the farm dog his name is Rooster, and he said, like the secret to being brave or the secret to courage or whatever, and he was like, it's pretending like you're not afraid.
Yeah. So you're a speaker, right?
Yeah.
Are you ever like scared, nervous?
Every single time.
So how do you deal with that?
So...
Is it that you just suck it up in that moment and you...
I don't know, because I have no idea what suck it up means, right? So like from a cognitive standpoint, I tell myself, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
This chemical reaction in your body is literally your body giving you the nervousness you feel is your body giving you the energy.
What you need,
to do the job.
Get through, yeah.
So the more nervous you feel, really the greater amount of energy that you have to accomplish the
So then
task.
you just have to direct the energy in the right place.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that I do, but one of them is it's a visualization piece. And I visualize the outcome. So either the ovation, or if it's not in a place where there's applause, I visualize the conversations afterward where people say, that what you said today really spoke to me. So I work toward that end.
So like we were saying, acting as if you see in your head what you want to be or what you want to do, and you work towards that.
I guess that's not schizophrenic.
No. See? It's exactly what we were talking about.
So what about when people say, okay, isn't that like pretending though? Like how can I act? They heard the movie reference and they heard, the thing about speaking. How can I act like I'm not confident? How can I act?
I would say it's not pretending because you're really doing it. Okay. And that's your desired goal, right? You want to be a confident speaker, a confident person.
Yeah.
So it's actually practicing and you gain the confidence as you go. So it's not pretense. Yeah.
Okay. So let's apply this to probably the top one or two goals that people have when it comes to the new year.
Yeah.
And that's the weight loss. That's the weight loss
joint. So what are some things you can do to act as if, right?
I don't know, because I can't fit into them pants.
What? I'm not saying go put on the little tiny leggings or whatever.
I don't wear leggings, you know that.
But look at the people that are really driven in, say, the gym. What do they do? They wake up every day.
They work out consistently.
Their food, they eat.
They watch what they eat.
Yep. They probably get, most likely they sleep enough in order to wake up.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things you can kind of practice for yourself to accomplish your goal.
Yeah, but that's so hard.
It is hard. And like we said, it's taking small steps.
Yeah, true.
So if I know going to bed, that's a huge one.
Man, listen.
Going to bed at night to get enough rest, to wake up and start your day in the gym. Then you get so much energy because I know what working out is like, man, I swore I would be tired, but you have so much energy for the day.
Yeah.
You're set. So
I'm on this 31 miles in 31 days challenge in January. Why did I just say that on the podcast? Anyway, 31 miles in 31 days, been running every day in January. And when you're running, because I looked at my app and it's like, you haven't
he's
run.
Been asking me and I'm like, I don't like running.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel good. It does not feel good.
I prefer to walk. I'll walk blocks. Give me a walk somewhere, I'll do that. But running, I don't like the feeling of almost throwing up, I think.
That's when it gets good.
Yeah, when your chest and that water in your mouth.
When your chest burning and then you got to spit something out. Yeah, that's when the run gets really, really good.
I don't like that. Yeah.
But you got to admit, when you get a good workout, when you get a good sweat in, when you get your heart rate up earlier in the day,
it's good.
You do have energy for the rest of the day. And my challenge is the sleep piece, getting to sleep on time.
Yeah, especially with kids. Most parents, it's like, my time before bedtime, all bedtime is the time we hang out. So it's like we tend to stay up a little late.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It's rough.
It's rough. And I tend to wake up early despite the time I go to sleep.
Waking up so early.
Yeah. From the time the sun is up, I'm up.
Yeah, you can handle that. I'm going to sleep just a little bit longer. But we want to encourage you as you're listening to the podcast. Listen, y'all, some of y'all just got to take it a little bit easier on yourself.
Yeah.
If you miss a day,
it's okay.
It's okay. There's another opportunity for you to try again. Mary Ann Radmacher, sometimes courage is a little voice at the end of the day that says, I'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
want you to remember that. All right, last section of this episode, already 20 minutes in. kind of flew by.
Yeah.
There's a story. So it's a story you told me about. I want to pull it up. This is real interesting because this section of the podcast, we did the fun stuff. We talked about the focus. This one is faith from the context of having hope.
Yeah.
No, having
especially
hope.
After the year we had. This is
So
we needed.
People Magazine, December 31st, 2020. I'll put the link to this article in the show notes. It says, Mom of 4 wakes from COVID-related coma 1 day before family planned to take her off ventilator.
Yeah.
So a Georgia woman is heading into the new year having beaten incredible odds, and her family couldn't be more thankful. She's called the miracle patient. Lisa Martin, 49, had been admitted to the Memorial Statilla Health Emergency Room in Waycross, Georgia, in September for complications related to COVID-19, according to a Facebook post from the hospital. Her journey includes 59 days on a ventilator, 40 days in an induced coma, and surviving a frontal lobe stroke.
That's amazing.
On October 20th, she was comatose, her eyes fixed. The post continued. The People Magazine article is reporting on the Facebook post that the hospital put up. The hospital called in her family to say goodbye. They decided to give it 11 days before making a decision about removing her from the ventilator that was breathing for her. Now, People Magazine put this in there, right? It's People Magazine, the article, and we got it in the show notes, but God had other plans.
Yes.
Hey!
Yeah.
But God had other plans. On the 11th day, Lisa broke through the sedatives.
You got to put on your preacher voice for that.
I don't have a preacher voice.
Yeah, you do.
I can't remember. But on the 11th day. Yeah. On the 11th day. Some of you have not waited long enough. You're on the 8th day, but your breakthrough is coming on the 11th day.
Yes.
But God had other plans. On the 11th day, Lisa broke through the sedatives and began tracking Jeff with her eyes, and she moved her hand.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so this is what she says. I'm shocked, but amongst all the overwhelming feelings, I feel like this is definitely a God thing, she says. I got to a point where I felt like no one cared for me. I didn't have a lot of friends. My kids are all grown up and independent, and my husband works all the time.
Wow.
I was lonely, but this experience has shown me how loved I truly am.
Wow. God used COVID to let her see that. Wow.
And this is dicey, right?
Yeah.
So even to say that God used COVID, I know people of different faith backgrounds and different faith perspectives listen to this podcast, and everybody's on whether you believe in God or not, you are on a faith journey because there is something that you believe in that during the course of COVID has been challenged. So it's even made some people uncomfortable to say God allowed COVID for a woman to feel like she's truly loved.
Yeah.
But man, what do you do with that when the person themselves says, she said, these are her words in the People Magazine article, I feel like this is a God thing. So for you, as you shared the article with me, for you, why did that article, especially as it was written on December 31st, coming into the new year, why did that article give you like this sense of hope?
Man, not just because of the year we had and so much loss.
Yeah.
But for me and the journey I've been on with God, it's like sometimes I just want to fight with God. It's like, Lord, why this gotta happen?
Yeah.
So it just reminded me that he ain't gone nowhere. He's still there. And even in those moments where we feel as if God has left us, he hasn't. He's still there, and he still works miracles, man. That's crazy.
The tough piece, though, right? The tough piece is when people look at this story, this lady who came out of this coma, right? Celebrating, she's saying it's a God thing. You put that right next to a story of a person who did not make it out of the coma.
Yeah.
The family pulls the plug on the ventilator.
And we know how many families have had to deal with that. Yeah.
And that's where people start to get a little frustrated and say, well, how can there be a God who is good and loving and just? How could I hope in something better when on one hand, people come out of comas and have this spiritual experience, and then on the other hand,
we're dealing with the loss.
People who die.
Yeah. It's a tough thing.
Yeah.
And we don't have the answers. That's the thing. No matter how much we've tried as humans, God is the one in charge. And yeah.
And even some of our trite statements, well, you just got to believe, or you just got to have faith, or you just got to pray.
I mean, to say that in the midst of, it's tough, for families to hear that.
Sometimes, honestly, when you're talking to people in the middle of their faith struggle, sometimes you just got to be like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, don't come up with some answer. You're trying to throw a text.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. And it's okay to say that I don't know and I have the answers.
Mm-hmm.
And to even pray for the person, not always around them, because sometimes that's not the best thing to do.
Yeah.
I should chill out with that sometimes, but even pray that God in his time gives them, lets them know.
Yeah.
Lets them know.
That reminds me of what happened to me. When was that?
Tell the story.
When was it?
You got to tell it in 60 seconds, though.
New Year's Eve?
Maybe it was New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. You tell it, because I'm going to mess it up. 60 seconds? No.
You got this in 60 seconds. Okay, so I had your debit card.
Yes,
and
you
my
took
wallet,
it from my wallet.
And then you went to the store without the debit card.
Yes.
You didn't know that I had the debit, or you forgot that I had the debit card.
I totally forgot to take the card back. Yeah.
Then what happened?
Man, I get to the self-checkout. Mm-hmm. I'm scanning all the groceries. And halfway through, I'm like, let me look at my wallet. No card. I cry. This is me in the store. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. And the lady who works there is like, oh baby, I'm so sorry. I hate when that happens too. And as I'm about to take the stuff off the register, this lady behind her comes up and is like, don't go nowhere, baby. I got you. And she made me finish scanning all the stuff that was in my cart, and she paid for everything. I was like, all I could say was like, thank you. And she was like, it's okay. You were in the right place at the right time. I was like, Lord, in that moment, he just reminded me that he got us.
See, the problem with some of y'all is that you're on your 8th day and your groceries are going to get paid on the 11th day.
Man, that was so crazy. I think as soon as I left the store, I called my friends in Kentucky. And then when I got home, I told you, I was like, the Lord knew exactly, man.
Yeah.
He knew.
And those moments, those small moments, those small reminders, they might not be as amazing and overwhelming as coming out of a coma, but there are moments if you just pause and think about it, that
Yep.
And I know that's the end of this episode.
Yeah, guys.
So we thank you for hanging out with us on the Collards and Curry podcast. I'm gonna take this last little drink of my favorite Pepsi here, because I'm the real host.
That says co-host. This is real host. Yeah.
I'm the real host. See y'all next time.
Bye, guys.